Alright, boys and girls, welcome back to Starfield. In the last episode, we left off at Londinian Spaceport or something like that. And we were told to come back and talk to Vae Victus off camera. I sold some stuff, I went to a doctor, got everything healed, so we're good to go. But, yeah, I know. We have to go talk to Vae Victus because he knew about the attacks at Londinian, and apparently that is bad. So we gotta go see what he knows.
Well, what a pleasant surprise. When I heard you and Hadrian were headed for Londinian of all places, I presumed you must be onto something big. Did you find what you were looking for?
Sure, let's go with that one.
I haven't been to Londinian in many years. Why? Is there some way I could be of assistance? Were you able to recover what you were looking for?
Do we, though? Like, that's just straight up being accusatory, and we have literally no proof he did it. The first option?
Good news, then. So, what exactly are you doing here? Plenty still to be done in defeating the Terramorphs, no? Did you? Well, I don't know what you think you heard on this recording, but I sincerely hope you didn't come to the wrong conclusions.
I'm here to
After all,
ask.
Given the Cabinet's current state of anxiety, they might misinterpret such a discovery to mean I could have been involved with the attacks. Perhaps I can convince you to keep this among us.
Probably not, bro. So, all my character knows at this point is that he was on Londinian. He was the person that bombed Londinian, killed a lot of people on Londinian that he knows about, the Terramorphs coming from heat leeches and the plant, that name I'm not remembering. Where are we getting the information that he's responsible for the attacks elsewhere? Yeah, let's do this one.
You know, you're far more clever than I expected. You want to hear the words, then? I did it. The Terramorph attacks on Tau Ceti,
Okay.
New Atlantis. My doing.
Okay, for sure.
Years of coordination between my associate and I. Figuring out how to deploy the Lazarus plant's pollen outside of Londinian. Learning to synthesize it. Use it as a weapon. Now, being as clever as you are, I'm sure you have thoughts on why I might do such a thing.
Okay, now that he said it, like, the story checks out, that everything pointed towards him as, like, a suspect. I didn't think he was the main suspect, but it is what it is. Just my character was straight up accusing him of that. And, like, that's not how that works based on the information we had. Suspect for sure. Absolutely the person doing it? Nah, we didn't have that information. None of these answers are good.
Time, then.
You're the one trapped in a cell, bro. You have nowhere to go. Shut up. None of these answers are good. Is he gonna sell out his associate that easily? I doubt it, but let's ask that.
All in due time. First, I want to see if you're truly as astute as you appear.
Oh my god, he has the fucking kink that criminals have, where they commit crimes just to get caught. Brother, holy shit. None of these answers are that good. Like, yeah, man, you're a big bad person. You wanted to just do this to kill people.
Hardly. The attacks were a correction. When I discovered the plant, I did consider handing over what I'd found, but we were at war. And I couldn't risk information that dangerous falling into the wrong hands. So I ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport, fixing two problems at once. Halting the spread of the city's Terramorph outbreak, and sealing away knowledge of the plant's potential.
Either I'm just not reading these dialogue options the right way, or none of these options are, like, good. Sure, that one.
Easy to say now, but at the time, I didn't know the Lazarus plant couldn't be plucked from the ground and used to cause even more death. I wasn't going to allow another dangerous variable to be added to an already catastrophic war. But then, as the war ended, my trial, my execution, I made a decision. After all, I'd given everything for the colonies. My life as I knew it included. Was there any effort by the UC to protect my legacy? My daughter's legacy? No. We were sacrificed when all we did was serve. So I kept what I'd learned and arranged the attacks to set things right again. My daughter, she becomes a hero.
So it's all part
I
of
become
some...
a trusted advisor, having found Kaiser, the research team, and cement my new position of influence when I hand them the name of the person responsible for the attack on New Atlantis. The dear departed Dr. Reginald Orlays, the associate who aided me all these years, and whom I always slated to take the fall.
Okay, right.
What luck he was stopped dead before he could hurt anyone else. His decades on the run brought to an end by another unlikely hero. You.
Alright, so that tracks. So he coordinated everything he did from inside this cell in a cemented basement mass district building. Was the messages he's sending to the outside world not screened? It just doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, if a prisoner sends a letter to somebody from within prison, the entire letter is read through. It's screened. Everything about the letter is top to bottom screened, and if it's not good, it doesn't go through. There's no way that what he was asking and sending out from this cell wasn't, like, found in some way, right? It's just none of it makes a lot of sense. Either that or he, like, he has the other people that work in this building in his pocket.
There are no heroes without a villain. I simply arranged the opportunity for us to overcome one and become the other. And we all benefited. It's why I had Orlays reprogram Kaiser. Had that old machine guide you to where I found the plant all those years ago. I went to great lengths to ensure your and Hadrian's success. And look at the results. I know for a fact the Cabinet's planning to honor both you and Hadrian once this is all done. Isn't that preferable to languishing away in obscurity? Running jobs on the tail end of nowhere for the Vanguard? With only the vague hopes of perhaps earning the right to buy a home in the well someday.
This guy knows nothing about me. This guy doesn't realize I'm the main character, and I literally have superpowers. This is crazy. This mission is so head-ass. His motivations are more clear now. I guess he wanted his daughter to be a hero while he was secretly the villain that they would probably never find because he blamed everything on Dr. Orlays. It's very muddy.
I'm simply looking for you to acknowledge the truth. And let's not forget the importance of our actual endgame. Eliminating the Terramorphs. Securing knowledge of the Lazarus plant. What we've set in motion is going to protect thousands, maybe millions of lives. I'm simply requesting one more life be protected. Mine.
Probably not,
I've
bro.
already sent along the evidence of Orlays' role in the attacks to the Cabinet, leaving out my own involvement. All I ask is that you confirm as much to the Cabinet. Tell them that it was Orlays and Orlays alone.
I just don't think we can do that, man.
I do still have a long list of threats to the UC. This needn't be the end of our good works together.
Dude, what you did was so objectively fucking head-assily evil. There is no way I can let you live. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. What? Like, there's no winning here. You bombed Londinium, which was bad then. People are still upset about that. That's the reason, like, you were put to trial and executed, so you have that against you. Then you kept the secret of the Terramorphs from your own faction, which could have stopped this problem from happening however long ago your execution was. And then you kept the information and conducted all this stuff. Now? Like, bro, that's 3 strikes. I'm sure if I know more about you, there would be like 17 million strikes. I don't even care what the work is. Nah, you're done, bro.
It's a pity, Captain. But I'm in no position to negotiate. Just think about the opportunity I've provided here.
I'm good, bro. Good luck. Knowing how video games work, I'm probably gonna leave. He probably has a bomb on the front door. He's probably gonna kill himself and, like, try to take his way out of here fighting or something. I guess it's not really a plot twist because, like, all the evidence that we found did point towards him, but we didn't find any conclusive evidence that it was him. That's why, like, at the beginning I said my character was kind of being stupidly accusatory, saying that it was him straight up, because we didn't have proof that it was him that did the Tau Ceti and the New Atlantis attacks, but I'm leaving, dog. We have this discussion every time. But now that we know it's him, like, bro, you're such an evil character, there's no winning. But whenever we go up to the top floor, something stupid's gonna happen. Bad news, guys.
Perfect timing. We just got in. So on our end, good news. The microbe and the Aciles are both as effective against heat leeches as they are against terramorphs.
Means either plan should work for clearing those critters off our worlds.
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I don't think we can deal with those things fast enough. I already sent along info to the cabinet to get them up to speed. So what about your end? Did you find anything?
You might want to sit down
Any
for
leads
this.
on who might have committed the attacks?
Okay, so we're just gonna drop that? We're not even gonna preface that he's still alive?
That seems unlikely, considering he's been dust for about 20 years.
I'm sure the captain just misspoke.
No, he's alive. I just didn't lead with that.
No, that's impossible. He's gone. My father is dead.
I don't know who I just spoke to.
The colony war butcher lives. Unfortunately.
Andreja, you have no
That's
horse
about
in
the
this race.
understatement
Please
of
don't
the
talk.
century. A couple of choice four-letter words came to mind for me.
Alive. Vae Victus is alive? How did you find him?
Found me. He's like right below us.
Wait. You knew he was alive and didn't tell us?
Couldn't. You should know that, of all people. Literally, you of all people should know about how keeping secrets works.
You were sworn to... You swore. You were just doing your duty, weren't you?
You're very hurt.
I
I'm
guess
sorry.
I, of all people, should know what a burden that can be.
Thank you.
Doesn't mean I'm not mad. But I guess you letting us know late is preferable to never. Now at least we can inform the cabinet and let them deal with him.
I mean, I can tell these people that, but he's done a lot of bad.
I'm sure he did. But he killed dozens of people.
More than dozens.
And I'm not about to let him get away with something like that.
Alright, I'm glad we're on the
But
same page.
Now I guess we've got our answer. Nothing left to do but put it all in front of the cabinet. Any last things we needed to discuss? This might be our last opportunity to talk things through before the cabinet weighs in on a decision regarding the terramorphs.
I don't think so.
Aciles aren't hostile to humans, but they are megafauna. If someone decides to pick a fight with one, it could get ugly.
That's a them
But they've already
problem.
been spread far and wide once before when the UC was raising them as livestock, so the risk of introducing them to new worlds is minimal.
That's all I really
Using
needed
them
to
to
know.
clean up the terramorphs and leeches, though, it's not going to be nearly as expedient as the microbe would be. Given what we know now about the Lazarus plant, the speed of the job does matter. But going with the Aciles, we're at least dealing with known risks.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I was concerned about, is if they were a threat to people, which I kind of already figured out myself, considering they were raised as livestock, but there's just too much unknown about the microbe. Like I said, it might turn out to be the FEV virus from Fallout 3 at face value, which its only purpose was to kill the super mutants, but if you played Fallout 3, you know anybody that's ever been touched by radiation ends up succumbing to the FEV virus, including your character. If you drink too much of the purified water in Fallout 3 post-Broken Steel DLC, your character eventually will just fall over dead. So, even though the microbe would be the best option for quickly getting rid of the issue,
We shouldn't keep the cabinet
considering
waiting.
the planned attacks on Tau Ceti and New Atlantis were planned, were not accidents, I don't know if the microbe would be that necessary, but it is what it is. I'm gonna go with the Sealy's
And here
option.
we go.
Thinking out loud a lot this episode, because there's been a lot thrown at me this episode. The Vae Victus stuff was such, again, not that much of a plot twist. It was just, I couldn't confirm that it was going to be the plot twist based on the information we had, but here we are. Whatever. Let's talk to these guys.
Welcome back, all of you. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances.
This is the best circumstance we've had.
Hadrian's report and the second one I just received, it seems the Terramorph attack on New Atlantis was no random occurrence, but a planned strike. Is what I'm reading here true?
That's correct.
My God.
An attack? Using terramorphs? How is that possible?
You will all receive a full briefing once we're done here.
Didn't tell them?
So then, is what the second report claims correct? Did Reginald Orlays commit these attacks, Captain?
Oh.
Orlays?
Oh, I guess we never did tell her that was the original story. Let's let Hadrian tell them.
Well, ma'am, it seems your report is incorrect. Francois Sanon was responsible for the attacks.
He did what?
That's impossible. He doesn't have the kind of access to...
Clearly, he made his own access, Chief Sarkin. Madam President, I have been saying for years that not dealing with that man was going to end in tragedy.
Enough! I hope everyone here understands that what has just been shared is a state secret of the highest order. This information does not leave this room.
That's what I keep getting told.
Now, that's quite the accusation your group is leveling. Seeing as Francois Sanon has not left containment for the better part of 2 decades. You have evidence to back this up?
Do not have security in the room he lives in? Do not bug his transmitter where he talks to people on the outside of his room? The security of this place sucks. Oh my god. No wonder this happened.
It just transformed. A terramorph out of thin air. An invisible weapon. No planet would be safe.
Heavens help us. Is that actually him?
I'd know that voice anywhere. That's Francois.
He knew they could do this. And said nothing.
He's a sociopath. Plain and simple, ma'am.
Officer, please collect that recording.
Yes, ma'am. Begging your pardon, Captain.
We'll, of course, be launching a full investigation into how this could have happened. Though I have little doubt the Admiral will be quick to share all he knows on the subject once confronted with that recording. Chief Yassine, can you send one of your interrogators to have a little chat with the Admiral?
I'll issue the order immediately.
Good. Combined with everything else you all have uncovered. Well, I don't think the United Colonies can thank you enough. We failed the people of the colonies by not dealing with Vae Victus sooner. I intend to rectify that mistake immediately.
What investigation do you guys have to conduct, though? What was the entire point of what we were doing? We did the investigation for you. We found out it was him. If you guys had literally any security measures in your own, it's like, government building, none of this would have happened. Like, I guess the giant plot holes have to exist for there to be a plot in general, but like, what the hell? There's no way this would have happened.
I'm inclined to agree, Captain. Now, with our villain unmasked, we can attend to the other matters at hand.
Sure.
With the threads you've brought together here. The Lazarus plant, the attacks, the heat leeches.
Oh, the solution,
the 3 of you
right.
have likely spared thousands of lives. But it now falls to the cabinet to ensure this can never happen again. As such, the cabinet will be securing the Lazarus plant on Londinian. All materials related to the plant will be classified to ensure no one else learns its true nature.
Don't even do that, just burn
Sound
it.
decision, Madam President.
No, it's a bad decision. Burn it. Destroy it. Yeah, that option. Burn it.
We're already discussing the elimination of one species, Captain. Explain to me why you wish to eliminate another.
Hard for anyone to commit new attacks to the plant arrays, destroying it and asking the Freestar Collective to help proves he has no ill intentions. That's probably the option that's going to work best for the government entity. Yeah, that one.
They are ultimately threatened as much as the United Colonies. To share what you know and what can be done to make us all safer can only foster good relations.
Fuck House Varun, I guess.
That is an idea with some merit to it. Decrease the likelihood of anything like this occurring again, and further relations between our 2 factions.
2 birds with a single stone. Very well. We'll include the collective in the removal process. Thank you for the suggestion, Captain. So then, to our final topic. The Cabinet has agreed to implement a plan that will deal with the Terramorph, and now also Heat Leech presence on human worlds. In fact, we've already begun enacting measures to check all UC ports and settlements for undiscovered nests. But we all understand this is only a partial solution. The project we're embarking on will be a long and difficult one. So our first step must be deciding how exactly this all will be handled.
Madam President, this microbe is clearly too much of a risk. The Aseles are the safer approach.
Yeah, that's my thought process.
Someone with limited knowledge of biology, perhaps? The technology behind the microbe is solved science, Madam President.
Oh, it isn't?
It isn't dangerous.
We don't know that because it's
Using it
never
to
been
wipe out
used.
the Terramorphs would be the quickest path to protecting humanity.
And fast results always lead to the best outcomes, don't they?
As you can see, there remains debate among the Cabinet. We were hoping your group might issue a recommendation. Major?
We've had a few discussions, but our group is similarly split.
Or not?
Only the captain has yet to weigh in.
I see. Captain, I know this may not be your area of expertise, but we'd like to know your take on the matter.
We haven't tested the microbe at all. Like, we know it'll do a thing, but we don't know what it'll do outside of a controlled experiment. We already know that the Aseles are safe. The Aseles is the best option. The scientists are gonna want the science, obviously, but like there's just too much unknown. It just isn't the safest option, and obviously that's what we're doing. We want it to be safe. So.
I'm in full agreement. No need be delving into unpredictable sciences.
The first step in a bold new future.
Bolder, better, and brighter. Well, I need to write that one down for later.
Order, please. And Major Sinan? Dr. Walker, you'd find this acceptable?
We trust the captain's judgment.
Then the matter is settled.
I'm literally not an
We'll
expert,
begin the
but
process immediately. Today marks day one for the United Colonies Terramorph Management Division, making you three the founding members of the TMD. As befits such a group, the Cabinet wanted to display its gratitude.
Are we getting statues?
Today, we will be adding 3 new Class 1 citizens to our ranks.
Class 1? For the 3 of us? Are you joking?
What he means to say is, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
I never realized, because I've never seen it up close and like him not moving. Dr. Walker's jacket looks like it's made out of an IKEA bag. Yeah, what the hell's a Class 1 citizen? I didn't read that part of the anything.
It's a status reserved only for those who've dedicated their lives to the United Colonies, or done great things for its cause.
Okay.
Class 1s enjoy an ample credit disbursement, an additional reduction on the cost of colonial goods. And I'm told the penthouse is rather impressive.
What happens if I ask you again?
It's a status reserved only for those who've dedicated their lives to the Class 1s and I'm told...
Exact same answer. Alright, thank you.
You all have earned it. Now, there's much to be done. Major Sinan, Dr. Walker, I hope you two are willing to continue your efforts, spearheading the TMD's research on Mars.
We'd be honored, ma'am.
As for you, Captain, the Vanguard will be providing much of the on-the-ground support for the TMD.
Okay.
As a member of both the Vanguard and the TMD, I believe you'll have your pick of duties. Speak to your commander, Tuala, if I recall correctly. He should be able to provide you with assignments going forward, plus help you collect the benefits that come with being named Class 1. On behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our sincerest gratitude. This meeting is adjourned.
Okay, cool.
I have things I wish to discuss with you.
I'm sure you do, Andreja. Further into the unknown. Yeah, that's a completely different thing, okay? Applauding this mission for the lack of space stuff, because I'm just gonna say it, The space stuff is the worst part of Starfield, in my opinion. It kills the game, it ruins the flow of the gameplay. It's just unnecessary in most cases, and at best for Bethesda, it just adds a few extra seconds of gameplay, which just doesn't have to happen. So I would like to thank this mission for sticking to the meat and potatoes of what makes games like this good, and that's not interrupting the flow of the gameplay with unnecessary space stuff. But Andreja, what do you want?
I have been thinking about what we talked about before. The idea of purpose in one's life.
Okay.
You agreed with me that true purpose, I have sacrificed. I know. I have told you that I am not one to discuss my past.
I don't care. Like, literally, you telling me whatever you're about to tell me is not going to be as bad as what Vae Victus just told me. I don't really care.
No, that is not what I am trying to say. I promised to provide for my family. That meant working with smugglers to procure supplies we could not acquire any other way.
So you're Veronica.
I spent my adult life away from my home, jumping from one planet to the... This is true, but I have only experienced my own. I was convinced from the beginning that it was unwise to let... I often find other people complicated and confusing. It seemed easier to not become attached, especially when circumstances meant I might never see them again, with no warning. Until now, I have disagreed strongly with that idea. But therein lies my concern. What I am trying to say is that I now wonder whether it has been the right decision to distance myself from others. I appreciate that more than you know.
Alright, cool. I'm glad that I'm everybody's personal trauma dump. So that is the end of that quest line. I don't think it's worth starting anything else in this episode, especially just because people watching this episode aren't going to care about whatever the next mission I'm starting is, so as always, I usually should probably start saying this towards the beginning of my videos. If you don't want to listen to me talk during these videos, my no commentary channel is whythetuck no commentary. Who'd have guessed it? It's linked in the description. That is where the no commentary run will be if all you care about is the gameplay and me not talking, so go check that out if you're interested. There's a lot of stuff going on that channel. Leave that like and sub down below if you have not, and until next episode, pizza.